In the chill of dawn on September 19, 1944, Staff Sergeant Lafayette Poole stood resolute beside his Sherman tank near Aachen, Germany, ready for what would be his final battle. The morning air was sharp, tinged with diesel and earth, as squads of Sherman tanks rumbled awake in tight formation. Engine growls filled the air, shaking the ground beneath these 33-ton steel giants preparing for war. Poole, just 25, had endured 81 grueling days in combat, tallying 12 confirmed tank kills so far. Ahead lay the heavily defended Siegfried Line, guarded by formidable Panthers, Tigers, and hidden anti-tank guns. Poole's unit was tasked with crashing through this deadly barrier. Standing at the wheel of his Sherman, Poole fully understood the odds. His tank was a 33-ton medium model crewed by 5 men and powered by a Continental R975 radial engine producing 350 horsepower. This M4A1 carried a 76mm gun with a top speed of 30 mph on roads, 20 in rough terrain. But despite its speed, the Sherman had a glaring weakness. It couldn't pierce the frontal armor of German heavy tanks. Panthers weighed 45 tons with sloped 80mm armor and powerful 75mm guns that could strike at 2 kilometers. Tigers were even more formidable, weighing 56 tons armed with 88mm cannons and boasting frontal armor up to 120mm thick. Poole knew Sherman crews had been taught to avoid facing these beasts frontally, to flank, to use speed and numbers, but combat was ruthless and unforgiving. The 3rd Armored Division had lost many tanks in Normandy, victims of German tanks' superior range and firepower. Yet Poole refused to follow the conventional textbooks. Instead, he honed his crew relentlessly, drilling every maneuver until responses were instinctive. How swiftly could his driver execute a hard turn? How fast could his gunner track and fire? How rapidly could his loader chamber rounds? His crew knew their roles like extensions of each other's bodies. His driver, Corporal Wilbert "Red" Richards, was a 24-year-old Maryland farm boy who could feel when the tank's gears faltered. The bow gunner, Private Bert Close, was a sharp-eyed 17-year-old from Oregon who had lied about his age to enlist. Gunner Corporal Willis "Groundhog" Ola, a machinist from Illinois, possessed a near supernatural eye for targets. And their loader, Delbert "Jailbird" Boggs, was a quick-handed former convict who could chamber rounds in under 4 seconds. Poole's unit was Company 1, 32nd Armored Regiment. After months of training in England, they landed in Normandy in June 1944. Their first tank was destroyed almost immediately. The crew survived and received a replacement they named In the Mood after a Glenn Miller hit. Their second tank was lost to friendly fire, but again they lived, receiving a 3rd Sherman still bearing the same name. Between June 29th and September 19th, Poole's team emerged as some of the deadliest tank hunters in Europe. Their success came from breaking all the rules. Poole ordered his gunner to fire instantly on spotting a target, no waiting for perfect range. Meanwhile, Richards would charge directly, weaving and closing in to diminish the enemy's advantage. Continuous movement and relentless fire became their creed. The most revealing fight came on June 30th, 1944, near Villiers-Fossard. A Panther lay half-hidden behind a hedge, 800 yards away. Most tankers would have waited for artillery, but Poole didn't. He told Ola to shoot, and the first round missed low. The Panther's turrets swung their way. Poole ordered Richards to drive straight at the enemy, not back away. At 600 yards, Ola fired again, ricochet. The Panther fired back, missing narrowly. Undeterred, Richards kept pushing forward. At 400 yards, the Panther fired once more and hit Poole's Sherman, but the armor held. Then at 300 yards, Richards skidded the tank sideways, exposing the Panther's flank. Ola fired perfectly. The shell tore through and detonated the Panther's ammo inside, blowing its turret skyward. They faced two Panzer IVs trying to flank them. Ola destroyed both in under 2 minutes, 3 kills in 4 minutes, with tactics flagged as suicidal by doctrine. Pool's approach spread quickly through the regiment, forcing Germans to adapt to an unexpectedly aggressive enemy. By August, many crews in the 3rd Armored Division adopted his fast-paced close-quarters tactics. Report after report from the Germans noted American Shermans were no longer retreating. They were charging head-first, closing distance and attacking relentlessly where German armor strengths were neutralized. Pool's combat record grew. On July 21st, near St. Lo, he wiped out 3 tanks and 15 half-tracks in a single clash. On August 2nd, near Mortagne, he helped destroy 2 Panthers that ambushed his column. On August 29th, Pool led an assault breaking multiple German positions, earning the Distinguished Service Cross. By early September, Pool had 12 tank kills, 246 vehicles destroyed, plus an estimated 1,000 German soldiers killed and 250 prisoners taken. His crew survived 21 major offensives without losing a man. His battalion commander was Lieutenant Colonel Walter Richardson, a fellow Texan who recognized Pool's unique talent and entrusted him to lead columns despite his non-officer rank. Pool declined promotion, preferring to stay at the tank's helm. Then orders came on September 17th. After 81 days in combat, Pool and his crew would return stateside for a war bond tour to support the home front. But before that, one last mission awaited. September 19th, near the Siegfried Line at Münsterbusch, Pool was instructed not to take point but to guard the flank. The attack began at dawn. Progress was smooth until disaster struck. Pool's regular loader, Delbert Boggs, was temporarily away for a medical check. His stand-in, Private Paul Kenneth King, was inexperienced and unfamiliar with the crew. King spotted a concealed anti-tank gun, an 88mm, feared by all, and called it out. Ola readied his gun. Pool gave the order to fire, but King fumbled while loading the shell, jamming the breech. Precious seconds lost. Pool yelled to reverse as he saw the enemy aiming. Too late. The 88 fired. The shell pierced the turret at 300 yards, exploded inside. Pool was blown from his hatch, his leg shattered by shrapnel. In agony, he injected morphine and attempted to amputate his shattered limb himself before medics arrived to stop him and apply tourniquets. The crew dragged Richards and Close from the burning tank. Both were injured but lived. Ola was critically wounded, King killed instantly. Pool underwent amputation of his right leg above the knee. Ola spent over a year recovering with multiple surgeries. Richards and Close carried on to the war's end. Lafayette Greenpool was born July 23, 1919 in Odom, Texas. He had a twin brother who served in the Navy. Before the war, Pool was an accomplished amateur boxer who won the 165 Lullaby sectional crown and fought an exhibition with heavyweight champ Joe Louis during Army training, winning all 41 bouts he fought. He enlisted June 14, 1941, trained with the 3rd Armored Division, and fought precisely 81 days of combat in Europe. He earned the Distinguished Service Cross, Legion of Merit, Silver Star, multiple medals, and was twice nominated for the Medal of Honor. One lost in paperwork, another denied for being a crew effort. After discharge in 1946, he returned to Texas, opened a gas station, but struggled with civilian life. In 1948, he re-enlisted as one of 7 amputees recalled for technical skills, becoming a tank automotive instructor until retiring in 1960. Pool passed quietly in 1991. His legacy honored when the Tank Driver Training Hall at Fort Knox was named after him in 1993. His story transcends statistics. 258 enemy vehicles destroyed in just 81 days, a record unmatched by any American tank ace in WWII. What set Pool apart wasn't superhuman talent or high-tech gear, but his refusal to accept the Sherman's supposed inferiority. He exploited its speed and mobility, drilled his crew into a unified force, and attacked aggressively rather than retreating. Poole's tactics weren't from generals or doctrine. They were born in the heat of battle and spread by example, saving countless lives. He rarely spoke of his exploits or injuries. When asked, he always credited his crew, changing the subject when pressed on his wounds. His life after the war was quiet, grounded in machines rather than metals. By mid-1944, improved Shermans and new heavy tanks like the M26 Pershing were arriving, but during Poole's months in combat, he and his crew fought with what they had and made the impossible possible. Statistics claimed Sherman tanks couldn't break through Panther fronts. Poole shattered those statistics 12 times. Doctrine warned against head-on duels with heavy German tanks. Poole charged them without hesitation and survived when many did not. War favors the bold, punishes the hesitant. Poole understood that better than anyone. His story is a testament to how innovation arises not from meetings, but from individuals who confront problems and create solutions under fire. Today, historians and tank experts study his record. Veterans share fragments of his story at reunions, but no account fully captures the man behind the legend. Lafayette Poole, a Texan, became America's deadliest tank ace in WWII, fighting fiercely, destroying hundreds of vehicles, losing a leg